So for today's episode of A Drink with the Hurricane, we are going to talk about closing and following up and overcoming the objections that clients give to us. This is A Drink with the Hurricane, the home care sales and marketing talk show that discusses all things growing your home care business. Because this is a request from one of our home care revenue builders members, Dan. And Dan actually wrote, Steve, how do you overcome the I can't afford it, or I only need 2 hours split shift? I'm interviewing other agencies. Your price is higher than others. I'm afraid my mother's going to run out of money. I'm going to try and get Medicaid and etc. How do you overcome all of these objections? Well, Dan and every single person out there who meets with families and you hear all of these things, there's a two-part answer here. The first part of the answer is you must have a bulletproof closing process. This involves the use of a sales presentation binder because it has to be formalized. And as you're using the binder does the selling for you. I can't stress this enough. I used to meet with people all the time, and in the beginning, they may have felt these objections, but the program, the presentation is designed to answer all of these objections before they even bring it up. So when you have a tried and true sales process, and in the home care revenue builders, I talk about this, so it's the information's in there, you will be able to overcome the objection before they ask it. Now at the end, if they still ask you an objection, because sometimes, like the 2 hour split shift, that's something that should be answered during the presentation. Your price is higher than others? Yes. Every once in a while, that may come up at the end. But again, the presentation is designed to overcome that. As you're going through the presentation, it should be so thorough. I talked about the client intake form a couple of weeks ago, right? The client intake form is so detailed that they automatically should be assuming this is going to cost more than someone else. It's a value build close. So at the end, when you do the close, the way that I teach people to close, and you show them a price list and you show them a range of prices, yeah, the average for this area is $22 an hour, and our price is $23.50. That's not that much higher than everybody else, but it is higher than the average. I said it as part of the close. It's all in the art of closing. It's all in the home care revenue builders. It's in there, all right? To overcome the objection when somebody asks you an objection, I want you to remember the objection cycle. Anytime someone gives you an objection, what is the objection cycle? Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to agree with that person, acknowledge whatever it is that they said. So if they say, I only need a 2 hour split shift, Dan, I totally feel where you're coming from, that you may feel that you only need a 2 hour split shift. Then you want to transition from agreeing with them to something else. So your transition in this case is but or however. That's how you transition your sentence. Then you respond with logic. So then I say, but Dan, 2 hours for you and I to get ready is a long time. But for somebody who has the situation that your loved one does, which is why I'm sitting here, son and patient, all right? It takes mom 2 hours just to take a shower and get dressed. What about her medications? What about her nourishment and her meals, her physical therapy, exercises? Who's going to take her to those doctor's appointments? This is all the reason why we have a 4 hour minimum, because 4 hours goes a lot faster than you and I may think. And so logically, that makes sense. I never thought of that, right? This is the logic part of it. Then I ask again for the sale. So, Dan, are you sure you don't want me to go ahead and set this up for you right now? And I smile and I nod and I assume the sale. And you go again, no matter what objection they give you, you always come back. You always come back. You know, I'm afraid my mother's going to run out of money. Dan, I totally feel where you're coming from. It's money woes are the number one concern of all people all over the world, whether it's providing care, food, keeping a roof over our head. It's times are tough, and I feel you. I feel it myself as an American, as a person. However, in mom's situation right now, we need to get action done to get care in place. What we're doing here is setting up a temporary plan, because you can cancel services at any time. It's in our language here. We actually gave a 3-day contract. You can cancel at any time with 3 days notice. So I pointed out, you can cancel services at any time. But this is a temporary plan to get mom home and keep mom home in the interim while we're figuring out the long-term solution. Maybe it is assisted living. Maybe she moves in and lives with you. We don't know. But right now, mom is getting discharged home soon, and we need to get something in place so that she doesn't end up back in the hospital. So, are you sure you don't want me to go ahead and set this up for you right now? And I can go on and on and on and smile. I can go on and on and on. And this is the objection cycle. It becomes second nature when you practice and you rehearse and you do this over and over and over again. So I won't spend any more time here. I've probably been talking now for about 5 or 6 minutes, and I've given you some. You got some content, okay? You got some content with this episode. If you would like more information about home care revenue builders, about closing topics, click on the eye icon right here or in the links down below in the message. We have plenty of information on it. We can help you improve your closing and your conversion ratio to grow your business. So there you have it. That's our tip for the week. Take care. God bless.